Alright, you lot. Splitgate's bleeding players, Steam charts look grim, devs get laid off, and everyone's foaming at mouth about SBMM like it personally murdered the NAB. But here's the thing, Splitgate ain't falling apart because of some one-off disaster. It's dying by paper cuts. Stupid, fixable, executive-level paper cuts. So before you bink game or start writing its eulogy, let's break down what's exactly killing it, and why it's sure as shit an SBMM. People keep blaming SBMM like it's some secret kill switch, but it's not. It feels like it, cause seconds you spawn in, it's like your bullets are swimming through porridge and your opponents are bloody demigods with zero ping. That's not SBMM, that's servers, or more specifically, routing. You're not being matched against better players, you're being thrown halfway across the globe to fight them on their home turf. Of course it feels like SBMM's strict. Of course it feels like you're getting dunked on. When you've got 120 ms to delay and they're running sub 20, it don't matter if they're average, you'll still lose gunfight. Every time. And it's not just theory. DroneNet said it best. It feels like there's always one or two gods in every lobby, like there's too much SBMM or no room to improve. But here's twist. He's probably just getting shafted by ping. Illusioner SBMM is stronger when game feels unfair. If he were routed to a server in his own country, same fate, same skill gap, but it won't feel so bloody hopeless. So yeah, problem in SBMM's too aggressive, it's that it's working on top of broken infrastructure, which makes every match feel like it's rigged against you. And instead of fixing damn netcode or giving people proper regional servers, they're tweaking matchmaking knobs like that's gonna help. It's like trying to fix a leaky boat by rearranging deck chairs. And everyone's waving Steam charts around like a bloody doomsday prophecy. Only 4,000 players left. Game's dead. Can't held down. First off, that number's just PC. It doesn't include console, which is where the vast majority of Splitgate's player base came from in first place. Remember, this thing popped off with over 3 million players. And yeah, that were cross-platform. So actual number playing right now, way higher than what Steam shows. But yeah, people are leaving. That part's true. And not cause they've all of a sudden decided the 8 portals and jetpacks. They're leaving cause game feels like shit when infrastructure melts. No one's logging off cause they got evenly matched. They're quitting cause bullets don't land, the shots don't register, and their enemies look like they're teleporting between dimensions. It's not a skill gap, it's a server gap. Vengeance48 asked how I'd fix it. Simple. Stop looking at player count and start asking why ones leaving aren't sticking around. If your netcode's collapsing and your servers are based in arse end of nowhere, people won't wait around for a miracle patch, they'll just uninstall and move on. They didn't rage quit cause they lost, they rage quit cause they never even got to fight properly. This is what nobody wants to admit. Splitgate 2's core gameplay ain't problem, it's infrastructure. You've got people on EU Wi-Fi being dragged into West Coast servers like it's 2007. Half at lobbies rubber banding, other half's landing headshots before you've even peeked. And players walking around thinking it's just them, like they're one-legged dickhead holding matchback. Spoiler, it's not just you, it's everyone. Game could be smooth as butter if routing one tabs look bollocks. You shouldn't need a PhD in geolocation to figure out why your ping's 140 despite living 5 miles from a data centre. But that's where we're at. And when that infrastructure collapses under pressure, everything else gets blamed. Matchmaking, aim assist, TTK, desync. It all gets put on trial when really, it's just fucking servers choking. You want to keep your player base? Fix that first. Cause it don't matter how pretty maps are or how smooth aim is. If your bullets go missing and kill cam's a lie, people won't stick around. Don't matter how indie you are, don't matter how noble vision is. If netcode's buggered, game's dead on arrival for anyone outside sweet spot. And let's talk about CEO thing, cause people keep throwing it around like it's some holy sacrifice. He's not taking a salary, bro. He really cares. Yeah? Cool. But that don't mean he's living off instant noodles and IOUs, does it? Ian Prue ain't exactly scraping by. Man's an investor in Clerky and Beef Noodle Studios. 2 businesses that are doing just fine. So yeah, he's not taking a salary from Splitgate 2, but he's not hurting. He'll be alright. That whole line's a distraction anyway. It's a soft PR deflection to make it look like he's shoulder deep in trenches with devs, suffering alongside them. He's not. He's playing long game while rest at team takes hits. He's got assets. They've got rent. And this ain't about crucifying guy, it's about clarity, because when people hear no salary, they assume sacrifice. But if you're still cushioned by investments and other ventures, it's not sacrifice, it's strategy. Problem is, players see that headline and think devs are in safe hands. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, people are getting laid off. So no, I'm not throwing shade at Ian for being smart with his money. I'm throwing shade at illusion and nobility while house is burning. Don't spin martyrdom when rest at teams paint actual price. Let's be clear, laying off developers right after launch into red flag. It's a fucking banner. These weren't underperformers, there weren't excess baggage, these were people building bloody game. And they got dropped moment things got tough. Not because of failure, but because someone up top decided money were better spent elsewhere. I've seen this cycle 100 times. Hype up game, overspend on marketing, and when numbers dip, even slightly, you cut very people who could have fixed it. It's not just stupid, it's insulting. Devs didn't mess up, infrastructure did. Marketing spend did. Strategy did. Brews got boot, not people signing influencer checks, ones writing actual code. And it's brutal because this isn't an isolated case, it's whole industry right now. You can make a great game and still get gutted because it didn't hit some arbitrary retention metric in first 2 weeks. These folks didn't lose a job, they lost chance to finish something they helped build. That hits different. So yeah, I feel for them, deeply. And if you've ever wondered why so many devs are burned out, leaving industry, or going indie, it's this. It's not passion fatigue, it's business decisions dressed up like inevitabilities. This is where it all falls apart. Influencer campaign. On paper it looked clever. Big names, big reach, instant credibility. Right? Wrong. What you got were a parade of mercenaries. Shroud, XQC, Nadeshot, Tim Tapman, Scump. All massive. All expensive. And not one of them sticking around when check runs dry. That's not a community, that's a marketing stunt with a timer on it. Let's be honest. Who fuck thought dragging in half at Valorant and COD Twitch crowd were going to build long-term loyalty to a brand new IP? These people play games like the disposable razors. One stream, maybe two, then back to flavour at week. And alt fans? They follow them. Not game. You think Tim's audience gave a shit about Splitgate? Nah. They turned up, clapped once, then pissed off back to Warzone. Money that went into that campaign could have funded better servers. Could have kept more devs employed. Could have paid 500 smaller creators who actually love arena shooters and would have stuck around long after Spotlight moved on. But no, they aimed for fireworks instead of foundation, hype over health, a quick TikTok dopamine spike instead of stable infrastructure. And now you got players quitting while influencers have already bailed. So you're left with naught but a fancy launch trailer and a Discord full of ghost towns. Good job. Here's what they should have done. First thing, ditch flashy bollocks and fix bloody foundation. Routing issues? Priority 1. If your players can't land short cost of fainting across Atlantic, no else matters. Patch infrastructure. Get local servers up. Make game feel smooth everywhere, not just on West Coast at US. Second, kill or at least loosen SBMM until player base stabilizes. You're not Call of Duty. You can't afford to chase perfect matchmaking when you got half the population playing at triple digit ping. People just want fair fates. Not esports level sweat lobbies with input lag and desync. Third, top influencer budget. You don't need $1 million shoutouts from someone who can't even spell game's name. Build with people who actually care. Ones making videos, writing guides, dragging the mates into lobbies every weekend. Give them support. Give them spotlight. Because they'll still be here when hype fades. And they cost 1/10 of what you wasted. It's not complicated. Aim big, sure, but start small. Build properly, prioritise playability over PR. That's how you keep players. Not some bullshit TikTok event that gets 1 million views and converts 0 fans. And here's the bit everyone needs to hear. This ain't over. Not even close. 1047 games ain't tied up in red tape. They don't have a dozen shareholders barking down the necks. No Activision suits. No Ubisoft boardroom panic. They can still pivot, but only if to stop chasing shiny distractions and actually listen. Player base ain't asking for miracles, just functional servers, just decent matchmaking, just a game that plays like it were meant to. Right now it's like driving a Ferrari with 3 flat tyres while marketing team screams, "But look at paint job!" Calm down. It's not dead, it's just wounded. And unlike most AAA titles that get euthanized behind a paywall or sequel announcement, this one still has a fighting chance. If they act fast. Every day they wait, more players bounce. More devs get demoralised. And more people write obituary that didn't need to be written. They've got talent, they've got community. What they need is a bloody reality check and to stop spending like they've already won. Splitgate ain't dying cause gameplay's bad. It's dying cause someone thought hiring Shroud were more important than hiring a fucking sysadmin. Cause someone thought trending on Twitter for 5 minutes would somehow outweigh keeping your core players connected to their own servers. Cause someone thought polish could patch over packet loss. And worst part? Core at game works, movement, gunplay, concept, it's all solid. But that don't matter when your bullets vanish mid-air and half at lobby screaming into void about lag. You can't build loyalty on instability. You can't grow a scene on broken back end. So here's hoping devs left behind get chance to do what Boardroom didn't. Fix fuck-ups. Strip it back, stabilise it, let game speak for itself instead of shouting through a megaphone full of clout chasing echo. Cause until then, Splitgate will keep bleeding out. Slowly, silently, and stupidly. Joint Discord, follow on X. Consider a channel membership. Joint resistance against twonks and industry bollocks. Smash like, hit subscribe, drop your comments and questions below. Unless you're going to be a twonk. I'll see you next time, you magnificent.